Chakshurummilitam yena tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Jai Gurudev, everyone. You have any question? Question? Yes. There's a mic. What's she saying? That is your question? What a boring question you have.
Oh, sorry.
First, you have to do the course. Did you do the devotee course?
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
Maybe one day.
Okay.
Jai Gurudev. Guruji, what comes first, humility or surrender? Or what is the relationship? How does it happen? Humility and surrender.
What comes first? Humility and surrender. Well, I would say humility first. Only by being humble you can surrender. You know, unhumble person can't surrender. You know, arrogant person can't surrender. Ignorant person can't surrender. Because they are so much full in themselves. You know, and if somebody is full in themselves, how can they take shelter? How can they surrender? Can't. Humility have to be there. Humbleness have to be there. You have to be able to humble yourself so that surrender can happen. And surrender is not an easy word, you see. We think surrender is, just by putting a tilak on the forehead, we are surrendering. Or by taking initiation, we are surrendering. This is not surrender. Surrender is so deep, but what is surrendering, really? You know, we have made our life so miserable and boring. But what else there's to be done, you know? Your great miracle you have done with your life. You have already ruined the beauty of life itself. Now, when you look at life outside, how we perceive people in the world, life is such precious things that God have given. Huh? But what have humans do with this life? Are they really appreciating life? Are they really honor that gift which God have given? No. So that's why we have to understand, when we go on the path of bhakti especially, that word, surrender, is not just a word, you know. It's not that, okay, my life was miserable outside, now I'm dressed fancy, I have put some makeup on, and I chant some mantra, and I call it surrender. You know, where here is not calling for. Surrender means that your whole being, you know, your body, your mind, your soul is longing. It's burning with a desire for the Supreme Himself. Not for anything secondary. Not for anything which is limited. That, when it happened, then surrender happened. Until then, we try. You know, until then, we humble ourselves. We keep purifying ourselves so that we can come to that state where we say to God, I am offering what you have given me back to you. What did he give? This body? Yes. Without his will, this body will not happen. How many couple come to me, they want to have children, which is easy. Biologically, it's easy made. If it is so easy made, why does it not happen? That means that to receive that body itself is not an easy thing. That's why the Shastra, the scriptures talk about the greatness of realizing how precious is that human body is. But what we do with that human body, we waste our time doing selfish things. We waste our time throwing the precious moment which God have given us we ruin ourselves. We make ourselves miserable. We make ourselves bored. And then we call that life. The little petty happiness that people have outside, they call it joy. There is no such joy. Short-term lived joy is not real joy, you know. When you understand that kind of life is a miserable life, but I have to change something in my life. But can I change it? First, we have to understand that, like I said, that human form itself is a grace of God. That happened, for what purpose does it happen? That happened so that we can meet Him. We can get to know Him. Then, of course, He'll reveal along the road on your spiritual path, when you come on the spiritual path itself, by the grace of the Sadguru, you come to that point of realizing that there is more to that life. We can think in a box. We can see like a little fish which is in a pond, thinking that is the world. But there is a whole ocean out there. Not because you think that this is just the world that you live in, that's it. Majority of the people think about that. You know? And into that little box that they have called their own world, they think they are happy. No, there is much more than that. Life is much more than that. You know, that beauty when we look around us, you know, when we look in nature itself, you know, what God have given us, everything is pulsating with that divine energy, you know. Do we perceive that? Do you feel that? Do you hear the vibration of His holy name vibrating everywhere? No. Then how do you think you will be able to surrender? You know, it's good to surrender to an idea, yes, but God is this. God wants you to be free, but do you want to be free? You don't even know what is freedom. How would you want to be free? You don't even know what is that love which is inside of you. Every time that love surfaces itself, what do? You got scared and close up. When your heart is burning, you get scared. You run away. Then how do you think surrender will happen? So surrender is not just a word like that, you know, but we take it very at ease, you know, because we think that we are more special than somebody else, you know. Because we are on the spiritual path, very often we think that, yes, we have surrendered. That's why we can talk about it. No, surrender is not like that. When you can give yourself body, mind, and spirit to that divine altar itself, then you realize that His grace was there, guiding you each moment of your life, from having this body itself unto where you have placed yourself in front of him, said, yes, I'm ready for you. That is a journey. And that is the journey where you humble yourself until there's no complete humility inside of you. Until there's not a single grain, but you don't exist into that. Only he exists into that. He don't reveal himself. So until that, surrender, we are trying only. We're still walking toward the path of surrendering. So when Bhagwan becomes the ultimate, there's nobody else but him. Like Mirabai said, dusra na koi, which means apart from you, there's nobody else. That becomes single-pointed, where everything else disappeared. Take only one aspect of that Supreme Lord, Then that is surrender. But until that, we are still purifying ourselves. We are still trying to humble ourselves. We are still trying to love how we are meant to love. Yes, Madhuri, another question?
Thank you, Guruji. And my question is, can we remember your voice from previous life? Is it on
Is my voice in this life not nice?
Very nice.
But you have to remember my voice in my previous life.
When we hear you, we recognize you. Can it be remembrance from previous lives?
Remembrance, of course. Look, we meet. It's not a coincidence that we meet, It's not, nothing happened just by mere coincidence. So for sure, your heart have a certain calling. You feel it inside of you. But if you're saying that you want to hear my voice from previous life, when I'm here standing in front of you, talking to you, I'm singing, I'm trying. I know my voice sometimes is not good. I'm trying to sing. And if you don't like my voice now, you can try to hear my voice from previous life. I think I got better. Devi Saraswati was very merciful to me in this life. This is a problem, you see. People don't appreciate what they have now. They always want to appreciate the past. What was, who I was, who cares? What does it matter to you who I was? I am here now. Who I was is gone. Who you were is gone. You don't even know who you are now, and yet you want to know who I was in the past. Okay, if you would know who I was in the past, what would that do to you? Would that make you surrender more to God? Would that make you love God more? No, it will not. You will live in the past. And people who live in the past, they're the dumbest people. When you see religion, for example, take religion. Religious people live always in the past. What have happened then? This have done like this. That deity God have done like that. They live in the past. But living in the past, what do? You built a wall in the present moment. You're building a wall, isolating yourself, because you think that because you are more special than anybody else, because you think you know what was in the past, what Jesus did, what Krishna did, you can talk about it, You build a wall around you. You isolate yourself from everybody else. Then how would you be free? How would you live life itself when you are living in the past? When would you appreciate what God have given you now? This is the problem. People live in the past or they're worried for the future. Yeah? What will be my life after? What about now? Now is the time to enjoy. You're already miserable now, and that misery you will project it. Do you think later you will be happy? No. We said whatever you're earning in this life now is result of the past what you have earned, you know. You're earning good merit because you have done good in your past. But it is now. And now you're making the now itself miserable. What would be your future? Joy and happiness. And that is the sad news about it. You will never be happy. Because if you can't be happy now, you will never be happy. If you can't appreciate what you're receiving now, you will never be able to appreciate life. So, keep living in the past and expect that you will have a bright future. Very good day.